Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So, today we are going to do topic 49 of paper 2, and here we will be discussing photosynthesis. So, you have learned from your childhood that what photosynthesis is. So, in simple words, photosynthesis is the process by which phototropes, or you can say plants, process by which phototropes convert light energy into chemical energy, which is later used in cellular activities. And this chemical energy is later used in cellular activities. So this is what photosynthesis is. So in childhood we used to learn that photosynthesis is the process by which plant make food using doing this. But they are not, as this age you have grown up, so you need to use some technical definitions. So that's why you need to highlight there that it is a process through which light energy is converted into chemical energy. Now, what are the factors affecting photosynthesis? Factors affecting photosynthesis. First of all, there are some internal factors. Such as chlorophyll. Photosynthesis is completely dependent on chlorophyll. There are many protoplasmic factors, that is content of protoplasmic factors. There is photosynthetic enzyme system. I have discussed enzyme in detail in previous lecture, so you must see it there. Leaf resistance, demand of photosynthate, there are many role of hormones, genetic control dependent on the genes, leaf age. The older age leaves are not able to do as much as photosynthesis as mature leaves. Now these are internal factors. Now there are many external factors also. External factors such as CO2 concentration, O2 concentration, water, temperature, mineral nutrient element, osmotic relations, light, such as light intensity, duration of light, this is duration, wavelength of light, photooxidation. So these are some of the factors on which photosynthesis is dependent. I hope you understand this. Now moving on, what is the difference between cyclic phosphorylation and non-cyclic photophosphorylation? What are these? Non-cyclic photophosphorylation and cyclic photosphorylation, or it is also known as non-cyclic ETS, that is electron transport system in photosynthesis. Non-cyclic ETS in photosynthesis and cyclic ETS in photosynthesis. So what are the difference between two? In non-cyclic, it is dependent on both PS2 and PS1, whereas in cyclic ETS it is dependent in only PS1. There is no role of PS2 here. Here there is presence of mixed light, that is long and short wavelength is required, long plus short wavelength. Here mixed light is required, and here monochromatic light is required. Monochromatic light of longer wavelengths. Here ATP is produced when movement of electrons from PS2 to PS1. ATP is produced when electrons move from PS2 to PS1. But here ATP is produced when electrons move from PS1 to PS1 only. As this is why it is cyclic. It starts from PS1 and it completes at PS1. Okay. This is ATP. And there is no involvement of PS2 there. Its products are half O2 plus ATP plus NADPH2, while the products of cyclic are only 2 ATP. Here the product is only 2 ATP. Here photolysis of water is there. There is photolysis of water. It is essential here, photolysis of water. Here it is not needed. Here the water molecule is the source of electron, which helps, let me rub it first. In non-cyclic, here the water molecules is source of electron. Here the water molecules is the source of electron, which helps the chlorophyll molecule to come to ground state, and this helps chlorophyll to come to ground state. Here electron comes from P700. Water is not the source. Here electron comes from P700 and water is not the source. Here electron does not complete the cycle. Electron doesn't complete cycle. It starts from PS2 and drains off in carbohydrates produced by CO2. Here it starts in PS2 and drained off the carbohydrates and drains off the carbohydrate produced by CO2 reduction. But here it is electron moves from P700 through 2-3 transfer steps to decreasing redox potential, It is cyclic as it starts from PS1 and again comes to PS1. It is non-cyclic. So I hope you understand the difference here. Now let me make you understand it through a diagram, what happens in cyclic and what happens in non-cyclic. So this is cyclic phosphorylation. Here what happens? This is chlorophyll, light. When light is given to chlorophyll. The excited two, if here comes excited, 2 electrons, and it moves through this pathway and comes back to chlorophyll. So what happens here? These things are electron carriers. These are electron carriers. Let it be electron carriers. And this line is the path of electron. Path. So here what happens when electron comes in here? ADP plus Pi produces ATP. And then again electron returns to chlorophyll. So you can see the cycle is completed here and ATP is produced. 2 ATP is produced here because 2 electrons are there. 2 ATP is produced here. So this is what cyclic phosphorylation is. Now what happens in non-cyclic ones? Let me rub it here. These are cyclic. Non-cyclic. Here also we have chlorophyll. Light comes on it. Again 2E is produced. It has also some electron carriers. These are electron carriers, and this is the path. This line is the path. So what happens here? The electron came, and here you will see that same process from ADP plus Pi, the ATP is produced. Here also we have got electron carrier. Now here what happens? Here also there is involvement of NADPH. So it is produced from NADP plus produces NADPH. And here what there is photolysis of water. This is water, and you will see how photolysis takes place. This will here 2A returns back, and here 2H plus is produced, which goes to here, which goes to NADPH, and half O2 is also produced. So this is what photolysis of water, that is production of oxygen and 2H plus. So this is non-cyclic because it breaks here. Okay, it doesn't complete up here. There is photolysis of water. Without photolysis of water there is no completion, so it is non-cyclic. This is how you can describe cyclic and non-cyclic phosphorylation through a diagram. Now moving on, what is the difference between photophosphorylation and oxidative phosphorylation? Photophosphorylation, which we discussed just with diagram, and difference between oxidative. Oxidative phosphorylation. What is the difference between them? So in photophosphorylation, it occurs in chloroplast. It occurs in chloroplast during photosynthesis, while it occurs in oxidative phosphorylation occurs in mitochondria during cellular respiration. We will discuss respiration in detail in the coming lectures. There we will get clear concepts of oxidative phosphorylation. But you should remember that in both process synthesizes ATP by chemoosmosis, by the process called chemoosmosis, linked to ETS system, linked to electron transfer system, ETS. So this is common to both. Now secondly, light energy is utilized for production of proton gradient. Here we require light energy for production of proton gradient. And here energy is derived from oxidative reduction reactions. Here energy is derived from, energy comes from oxidation reduction reactions. That's why the name oxidative phosphorylation. And here as light is used, that's the name photo. Photo means light. Here the accumulation of proton occurs in lumen of chloroplast. Accumulation of protons is in lumen, and lumen is in chloroplast. And here the accumulation of proton occurs in intermembrane space of mitochondria. Mitochondria. So this is the difference between two, that is photophosphorylation and oxidative phosphorylation. Hope you understand this. Now moving on, what is Hill reaction? We will discuss Hill reaction and here we will discuss now Hill reaction. Next topic of the session, here we are discussing Hill reaction. Photolysis of water, you can say photolysis of water. Or water is source of, we will prove water is source of electron for CO2 fixation. Water is source of electron for CO2 fixation. So first of all, what is Hill reaction? In 1997, Robert Hill, the scientist, Robert Hill demonstrated that isolated chloroplasts were illuminated in presence of suitable electron acceptor such as ferricyanide. Then ferricyanide is reduced to, ferrocyanide by photolysis of water, reduced to ferrocyanide by photolysis of water, and this reaction is called Hill reaction. And this reaction totally is called Hill. Let me write the reaction here. This is 2H2O in presence of light in chlorophyll, O2 plus 4H plus 4 electron, that is 4Fe3 plus and 4Fe2 plus is produced. So this is what Hill reaction. This reaction, and it explains that water is used as source of electron for CO2 fixation. Water is evolved by byproduct. Here water is evolved as byproduct. Oxygen is evolved as not water. Oxygen is evolved as byproduct. So it can be said that water is the source of oxygen, because this oxygen comes from the water. Now, so this has proved that water is the source of electron for CO2 fixation, and this also suggests photolysis, because here ferricyanide is reduced to ferrocyanide by photolysis. You can see the photolysis of water. Oxygen is evolved from water. Now moving on, here we need to prove that oxygen evolved in photosynthesis comes from water. Oxygen evolved in photosynthesis comes from water. So what happened here? It is proved by, this was proved by Kamen by using heavy isotope of oxygen, isotope of oxygen. When photosynthesis is allowed to let me understand a simple language. He did two steps. First of all, he took CO2 and took the H218. And here first step he take normal CO2 and took H218, and in the presence of light and chlorophyll, of course, the products were CH2O plus H2O plus O218. So it suggests that O218 here comes from this OA. The O is from water. So to prove it correctly, it did second step too. It now here used the O2 of CO2 as 18 and normal water H2H2O, and here also 2H2O, and here the reaction in presence of chlorophyll and presence of light and chlorophyll. Let me see, CH2O18 plus H2O plus normal O2 was evolved, and this O18 was seen with CH2O18. So it suggests that this oxygen, the oxygen in photosynthesis, is coming from water instead of carbon dioxide. The oxygen of carbon dioxide here is evolved here, not is coming from water. So from this you can suggest that the oxygen comes from water during photosynthesis, and this reaction also proves that hydrogen required for CO2 reduction, also proves that hydrogen required for CO2 reduction also comes from water itself. So I hope you all understand this. First he took normal CO2 and heavy 2H2O18, here the O18 isotope, and here the O you see, when the oxygen was evolved, it was with 18 isotopes. So it can be suggested that this comes from water only. I hope you understand this. So that is all for today. For any queries, do comment. If you like it, please press the like button, do share and subscribe. Keep making notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.